Hello friends, welcome back to Yoga with Paige. Today's class is a beginner-friendly feel-good flow. So we just spend our time focusing on the breath, getting to know our body, and just releasing tension wherever we find it. We don't need any props for this video, and again, this class is all level friendly. So whenever you're ready, you can grab your mat and we can begin. We begin class today lying on our backs, corpse pose. Taking a moment to settle in to the mat, to the practice. And then reaching the arms above the head. Inhale, big stretch. And exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms up, squeeze, and release. Bringing the knees into the chest. Hugging the arms around, finding a gentle little rock. Massaging the lower back. Just coming in to the body, letting things go from the mind. Giving yourself a little hug, lifting the chest and the head, bringing the forehead to the knees. Send yourself love. And then releasing the head back down, we can take the hands to the backs of the thighs and gently rock up onto the knees, thunderbolt pose. Sitting up nice and tall, lifting through the crown of the head. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, bend the elbows, cactus, drawing the shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus. Two more like this. Moving with the breath. Opening up through the back and the front chain of the body. Exhale. Then lowering the fingertips to the mat and taking a few little neck rolls right here. Tucking the chin. Rolling the head to the right side. Back behind and over to the left. Ending with the chin tucked. And then reversing it the other way. Doing one more like that. One circle each way. And then release, lifting the head back up. Coming down onto all fours. Preparing for cat-cow. Grounding through the palms and the tops of the feet. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, opening through the throat. Exhale, rounding through the back, pressing away from the hands, from the mat. Using this backward and forward motion to create a sense of balance in the body that we can mirror in the mind. Beautiful. Ending out this round and meeting back in tabletop. Extending the right leg long, coming onto the balls of the feet, reaching backwards with the heel. Gazing slightly in front of the hands, a nice long spine, and a nice long line in the back of the leg. One more deep breath here. And then lift the toes off the mat, squeeze the leg up high, tap the mat, squeeze, tap, and squeeze. Bringing it back in, underneath, reaching that right arm up, big inhale. Exhale, circling it around, thread the needle, coming to lie on the right shoulder, the right ear. Breathing deeply into the lower back, feeling this twist of the spine. Exhale, gently press back up, taking that right arm with you. And then releasing back down. Grounding through the right leg, reaching the left back. Heel is sent to the back of the room. Gripping through the fingers. We're nice and strong and steady here. Our hips are square. One more breath. And then reaching that leg up, squeeze, tap, squeeze, finding that core connection. And then coming back into tabletop. Peeling the left arm up, big inhale. And exhale, thread the needle. Finding as much space as we can here, pressing away from the mat, opening up through the upper back. Feeling the stretch in the front of the shoulder. Then exhale, release, reach that left arm up and sweep it back down and around. Walking the hands out, sliding them in front of you. Hips are still over the knees, coming down into puppy pose. Melting the heart down. Placing the forehead on the mat, finding length in the upper spine by the base of the skull. Keeping nice and active in the shoulders and the hands to not just dump our weight down, but be strong and secure as we continue to open up with each breath. Two more deep rounds of breath, releasing on the exhale. Inhale, raise the head and the chest, slide the hands back underneath the shoulders. I'm going to turn to face you this way since I don't have a lot of room on the side of me. We're going to extend the right leg long, heel comes in line with the left knee, reaching that left hand by the knee, right comes above. Big side body stretch here. And we can stay here, or we can reach the fingertips back towards the foot, sending the pelvis forward, finding a little mini back bend, a little half camel variation here. Whatever feels good to you. And then exhale, release, walk the fingertips over to the right ankle and find this deep hamstring stretch. So it's a nice little twist hamstring. We're nice and active in the legs, not forcing anything. Beautiful, gently walking back, taking that right leg underneath and extending the left to repeat. Right hand comes to the side, left reaches overhead, finding a nice long line. And then finding whatever variation suits you. Maybe we stay there, maybe we open up to the back. Finding play in our practice here. Exhale, sweeping that left arm around, coming to find the left ankle and reaching for that foot. Breathing nice and deep. Exhale, release, turning to face the front of the mat if we're not already. And send the hips back, child's pose. Hands reach out in front. We meet big toes together. And just take a few moments to notice the lengthening of the spine, the calming of the mind, and the sense of self-love that this posture generates. The self-soothing, letting whatever comes to mind come to mind. This is a good place for a check-in. And exhale it all out. On your next inhale, lift the head, Slide the hands forward, tuck the back toes, and lift up into downward facing dog. Gripping through the fingers, pedaling out through the feet. Finding length, reaching the crown of the head towards the hands and the hips up to the sky. And making our way to the top of the mat. Forward fold, keeping the legs, the knees bent, reaching opposite elbows and just dangling here. Letting all the blood rush down to the head. Releasing tension in the neck. Belly maybe rests on top of the thighs. Exhale, release the shoulders. Scooping up with the head first, creating this little concave in the back. We reach up, hands clasped, maybe take a slight back bend. And exhale, hands to heart center. Reaching back up, interlace the fingers, pressing the palms up, and bend to the right side. Breathing. Exhale back to center and bend to the left. Coming back through center, releasing the hands, and at the top of the mat, sinking down into chair pose. Feet are hip width apart, sitting like we're sitting back in a chair. So we're heavily weighing on the heels and the balls of the feet, not so much the toes. Keeping the chest nice and lifted, arms are up, shoulders are rolled back. Holding here. And on your next exhale, sweep that right arm behind, revolve to the right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, revolve to the left. Moving with the breath, still nice and strong in the legs, firing up those quads, the glutes. One more time, each side. You got this. Beautiful, meeting back in chair pose. Shifting our weight to the left foot, picking up the right, sending it back, and pivoting it out, coming into warrior one. Sinking into the hips, squaring them off to the front of the mat. And then taking the hands, interlace them up, and bring them back. Exhale. A little reverse warrior variation here, grounding through the back edge of that right foot. Exhale, bring the hands down and walk them to the long edge of the mat, bringing the toes to face the front. Forward fold. You may want to walk the feet out a little bit more. Just opening up through the hamstrings, sending the hips up, grounding through the outer edges of the feet. Using your breath to slowly help you find relief in this stretch. Maybe we're on the tips of our fingers, maybe we're on our forearms, maybe we're on the top of our head. Wherever we are, we're just breathing. One more big breath. And inhale, raise the chest up high. Exhale, turn to face the back of the mat, stepping up and coming back into chair pose. Sinking into the hips, holding here for one more breath, nice and strong. Shifting our weight to the right foot, taking the left behind, and warrior one. Checking our heel alignment. It's okay to take a peek. Here we go, sinking nice and deep, strong like the warrior you are. And then interlace the hands and exhale, taking a slight back bend. Really using the quadriceps here to hold up your core, using the core. Exhale, rain the fingertips down and coming back to the middle of the mat. Sending the legs out a little bit wider, planting the right hand, peeling the left up, keeping the hips stationed where they are, twisting from the lower spine. Exhale, replacing the right hand with the left, peeling up. And planting that hand, turning to face the top of the mat. Stepping that left foot back, coming back into our downward facing dog. Finding our positioning here first. Then inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, roll through the back to high plank. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, over the toes, downward facing dog. Doing a few spinal rolls. Inhale to lift the heels. Exhale to roll. And inhale, upward facing dog. One more time. Beautiful. Moving with your breath. Ending in downward facing dog. And when we meet here, we're going to slowly roll down onto the belly. Untuck the toes. Take the elbows underneath the shoulders and inhale, Sphinx pose. Gazing forward, taking the shoulders down and back. A few breaths here. Active in the glutes and the legs. Exhale, forehead comes down to the mat. Hands come underneath the shoulders. And inhale, press up and turn to the right. A little revolved upward facing dog, if you will. I do have my knees down on the mat. We can revolve to the left. So it's not quite an upward facing dog. Back to the right. But you can make it what you want it to be. Back to the left, even it out. Back through center, taking the chest down, going up onto the knees. To cross the feet and extend them out long. Staff pose, flexing the feet up towards the sky. Sitting up nice and tall. Sitting up nice and tall. And exhale, slowly walk the fingertips towards the feet. Getting a nice little stretch. You can always have the knees bent a little bit if that helps us tilt the pelvis and we can fold forward a little bit more comfortably. Taking 2 more breaths, going a little bit deeper with each exhale. Inhale, lift up, walk the fingertips back. Take the right hand behind for a very, very gentle little twist. A lot of ringing out in this practice today. And coming back through center, twisting to the left. Back through center. Scooting the heels back, finding our balance spot on our sit bones, and lifting the legs into boat pose. Keeping the shins parallel to the mat, really using the core, sucking that navel into the spine to lift up closer to the legs. Breathing nice and steady. You're strong, you got this. And exhale, release into bound angle pose. Soles of the feet come together. You can maybe butterfly the legs out a little bit. That feels good. Or maybe we find our static bound angle, reaching, pulling the chest forward, using the feet to help you. Breathing nice and deep. Allowing your breath to slow down if it sped up. Letting thoughts come and go here. One more deep breath. And on the inhale, we lift the chest and come down onto the back. Very gently. And crossing the right ankle over the left knee, pulling the legs into the chest, reverse pigeon. Pressing the lower back down into the mat. Drawing energy up from the earth. Notice if you can feel that energy. On your next exhale, gently uncross the legs to switch sides. Maybe you were just paying attention to the breath and how it feels physically flowing through the nostrils, feeling the cold air come in and the warmth go out. And we can release the legs and send both of the feet up in the air for happy baby. Finding this release here, just letting the legs hang open where they want to. Massaging the lower back. Feeling the goodness there. Finding little pockets of goodness. Or maybe finding a different pose, bringing the feet together. Maybe coming into plow pose, whatever feels good for you. More movement, less movement. Just practicing tuning out the mind, the distractions, and tuning in to the physical feeling body. One more deep breath. And then we can gently release both legs. And we can come into Recline Bound angle, the soles of the feet together, or extend the legs long for corpse pose. Just taking a few moments here to rest and to surrender. Sometimes that's the hardest part. We're always on the go. We're always wanting to move. So it is good to kind of force yourself if you're resisting even just a few moments of quiet, of stillness. Noticing if you're holding tension anywhere in the face, the forehead, the jaw, or maybe in the shoulders or the hips. And just take your awareness there and lovingly release it. Let it go or shake it out if you have to. And taking one more big breath, you can gently start to wake up the body, move around the muscles, find some little wiggles, whatever helps you wake up. We can gently come to one side and press up to a sitting position. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, bring them to heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope to see you on the mat again very soon. Namaste.